the Oklahoma Newsroom. You're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we're brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. Go online anytime and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Barry, it's We Pick 'em, and it's all NBA playoff series. 3 first-round series remain as we tape on a Thursday morning, but they're all 3-2, so lots to be decided yet. Let's get to those 3 first-round series before we look ahead. Bulls-Bucks, Barry. Bulls lead this one 3-2, Game 6, Thursday evening in Milwaukee. Who wins this series?
Well, I think Chicago wins it. I'm not sure they'll win it in 6, though. They go back to Milwaukee. It's actually a fascinating series. They're 90 miles apart, and the games in Milwaukee, Chicago fans have flooded the arena. It's not half and half, but I'll bet it's 30% Chicago fans, which you never see in an NBA arena. So not much of a home court advantage for Milwaukee. But the Bucks, Jason Kidd has those guys playing hard. He's playing them tough, playing good defense. They're giving Chicago a run. The Bulls still not finding their footing with everybody back. But I think the Bulls eventually win this series.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bulls in this one as well. But, man, the Bucks have shown me something. I really thought that the Bulls might potentially sweep this series. In fact, I think that's what I picked before the playoffs started. But the Bucks have bowed up. I mean, they're down 3-0 with not a lot of hope of winning a game at all, and suddenly they've got it back to 3-2 and a chance to force a 7th game. This very rarely happens in the NBA playoffs. So my hat's off to the Bucks, to Jason Kidd and those guys and what they're doing. But I think the Bulls win. If they are forced into a Game 7 situation, it'll be back in Chicago. They've still got that veteran group. I still like their chances, but the Bulls have definitely been pushed in ways I don't think a lot of us expected. All right, Barry, another series that could end Thursday night, but this one, wow, Clippers-Spurs. Spurs lead at 3-2. It's an 8:30 start on Thursday, and it's in San Antonio. Who wins this series?
Well, I think San Antonio gets it done probably Thursday night in the Alamo City, but what a great series this has been. The home team is only 2-3 in this series, so you've seen a lot of uncertain, a lot of interesting results. Clippers have the better players in terms of overall talent. Just
if you were picking sides,
the superstar talent.
Yeah,
I mean the superstar talent on this on the Clipper level is high. But the Spurs have all that deep team that plays well together and gets things done. And I think San Antonio is going to win it. But I will say this: the Spurs, some of their key guys have not played well. Danny Green, Manu played okay in Game 5, but hadn't played well before that. Tony Parker hadn't been great. Thiago Splitter's been terrible, and yet they still lead this series. So I think San Antonio is going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm going to go with San Antonio as well. I picked them before the playoffs, and I'm sticking with it. I think they would be. I think they'd be smart to try to get this wrapped up in San Antonio. I still think they would have every opportunity to win a Game 7 in LA, but I don't know if you want to risk that, San Antonio. So you probably want to go ahead and get this one done tonight on your home court. But, it's been remarkable to see San Antonio just continue to show their winning ways in the playoffs. We've had conversations about this series, as I'm sure a lot of you have. And, our web guy in sports, Eric Horn, brought up a great point. For all that the Clippers have, and Barry, you said right, they've got the superstar talent. Just something missing. And you can see it when they're playing a team like the Spurs that has some of those intangibles that, they just win when they have to. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if the Clippers are too nice or too mean or too what, but they don't quite have that thing to put them over the hump against teams like the Spurs. And in the West, you're going to have to go through the Spurs at some point. It's likely, at least for the foreseeable future. So I'm going Spurs in this one, winning tonight in San Antonio. All right, Barry, what about the other Eastern series that's going to 6 games? That's Hawks and Nets. Game 6 is Friday night, and that's in Brooklyn. Who wins this series?
Well, I think Atlanta wins it, but I got to tell you, the Hawks have not been all that impressive because nobody's excited about Brooklyn. This is
I'm not sure Brooklyn's excited about
Brooklyn. It's a ghost
Brooklyn.
of a team. They're about to fall into the abyss. Their players are old. They've got no future. No draft picks. Darren Williams, Joe Johnson. They got guys that are on the backside of their careers. And for the Atlanta to not put away Brooklyn before this, I think is an indictment of the Hawks. But I think Atlanta gets it done and wins this series.
Yeah, I thought this was a sweep for sure for the Hawks. I still have them winning the series. But, I thought the Hawks were a team that would make it all the way to the NBA Finals. Now, I have to admit, there's been years past when teams have not played well Look last year, the Spurs in the first round get pushed 7 games by the Mavericks. Fantastic series. Lots of question marks about the Spurs coming out of that. Then they win it all. So who knows? Maybe the Hawks rally. Maybe this is just a low point for them in the playoffs. But in the East, against a not good 8 seed, for them to still be in this series is really, really hard to wrap your head around. All right, Barry, what about the second round series that we know at this point? Warriors-Grizzlies. Game 1 is Sunday afternoon in Oakland. Who wins this series?
Well, I mean, for 4 years now, I've been west of the Mississippi president of the Memphis Grizzlies fan club. Even the people who live in West Memphis aren't as excited about the Grizzlies as I have been. I would have picked Memphis a few days ago. However, when I saw Mike Conley's eyeball last night,
Totally agree.
I said, no way. Mike Conley's a big-time point guard defender. They miss him on offense, but Nick Calathis and Udro, those guys have played okay at the point, and they'll do fine offensively. But defensively, the Memphis Grizzlies are built to beat the Golden State Warriors because they got Mike Conley and Tony Allen, who can play the defense on Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. And now Conley probably out. I think it's curtains for Memphis.
Yeah, I totally agree. Warriors is who I got winning this series, and you know what I thought about though when I saw Mike Conley last night. As much as I thought about the fact that it hurts him against the Warriors, I also thought, how remarkable is it what Russell Westbrook came back from? He essentially took a knee to the head. Conley took an elbow to the head. It was clearly a different area, but still. You marvel. Westbrook had surgery, and he comes back and plays. Conley's sitting out, and you wonder, is he going to be available at all? Chances are not good.
Didn't look good.
It did not look good. But I think that series, though, is going to go multiple games, Barry. 6, 7, I wouldn't be surprised. Even without Conley, Grizzlies are really, really good in the playoffs. All right, Barry, let's talk big picture. Who wins it all? Anyone want to change your original pick?
Well, I picked San Antonio to start with. I'll stay with them, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not as excited about the Spurs as I was a week and a half ago. They don't seem to be playing quite as well. Now, I'm probably not giving them enough credit. They've won 2 out of 3 games in Los Angeles against the Clippers. We saw last year, the Clippers are good. We saw the Thunder really have to struggle to knock them out in 6 last year. So probably selling the Spurs short, so I'm going to stay with them. But it's not going to be quite as easy as I might have thought.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Spurs too. But and I have to agree, I'm not quite as excited with how they've played against the Clippers. And yet, the Clippers, when you look at it, you kind of think, aren't the Clippers the Thunder of a few years ago when they finally got to the point where young legs, all that athleticism, all that length finally beat the Spurs? Aren't they that team in 2015? And here the Spurs are on the verge of winning this series. It's really, and we're now 2 or 3 years down the road, Barry, so those Spurs legs are not getting any younger. Tim Duncan is not getting any younger, although at 39. Is he really that old? As a 39-year-old, I say no. But
you're both on top of your game.
But I tell you what, Spurs, I think, still win it all. Lots of basketball left to be played. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oakland.